Hey, what's up, Saiyan Squad? It's me, the voice of Goten, Jules AF here, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super A New Age video. This time titled Dragon Ball Super A New Age History. What's different? A common question I got from my first Dragon Ball Super A New Age information video is, what's going to be different from this series? Like, how does this series compare to the likes of Dragon Ball Super? What are you altering in this? Well, to answer your question and to thank you all so much for your support you've been showing the series, I thought I would do a video explaining what changes I'm going to be making towards these characters and everything that I'm going to be doing that's different. Of course, I'm not going to cover everything too much in detail because I don't want to spoil too much for you all, but hopefully you can stick around and see something that you might like. I'm only going to post the bare essentials, something that won't really spoil so much of the plot. For example, I want something that I can give you guys a hint towards how I'm going to be bringing this series to you, how different it's going to be, and how I'm trying to do things, and to change everything, of course. And I have reasons for all these changes, of course, and I'll go by them as I'll read out the list of things I'm changing. Okay, now the first one I want to mention is there's going to be not as much Super Saiyan Blue showcased in this series as there is with the original Dragon Ball Super series. No, in fact, we're going to be showing more of Super Saiyan God and less of Super Saiyan Blue. Now, the reason why I believe that this is a better option is because it says that Super Saiyan Blue feels like the type of transformation that would take a lot of time to develop. One of the biggest problems, in my opinion, when it came to Dragon Ball Super is that Goku and Vegeta achieved this form without any problem. Now, of course, in hindsight, the story did make sense on how they were able to achieve this form, but they were able to master it in such a short time, and I feel like that's something that I really did not like, because if you think about it logically, Super Saiyan 3 is a transformation that Goku took years to master, and in fact, until this day, still hasn't mastered it. He still has trouble transforming to the form, and basically, well, yeah, that's what I want to see with Super Saiyan Blue. I want to see Goku and Vegeta develop the transformation. I want to see the creative process on how they try to handle the transformation and how they use it to their benefit. I plan on doing it similar to the Kaioken, where they can only maintain Super Saiyan Blue for a little bit before it strains their body, and they try to focus more on the Super Saiyan God transformation. I feel like it would really benefit the Z fighters and would just make for better storytelling. That's my personal opinion, of course. And one of the other things I'm going to mention is that in my version, Vegeta doesn't get trained by Whis. In the anime, it showcased that Vegeta and Goku did train with Whis at the end of Battle of Gods. However, I'm going to be changing that. Reasons I'll get into later, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a hindsight on that. Vegeta's going to be treated differently in this series than he was in this series. You could say he's more redeemed in this. He's going to be a lot more developed and a lot more focused. And his training exercises he's going to be going through in this series is going to be something that has never been done in Dragon Ball history, and I feel like it'd make great storytelling. Another thing I want to mention is Beerus, the God of Destruction. He is going to get complete change in attitude in this series. He is not going to be the same Beerus we have seen throughout the anime and throughout the manga, where he's super obsessed with eating food. He's super obsessed with, fighting, for example. This Beerus is a dark alteration of the character. One of the flaws, in my opinion, about Beerus is that he was given the title God of Destruction, but he never showcased how destructive he could possibly be. He has been told by many people, countless of times, that he is a pure evil villain. I feel like they tried to highlight this at the start of Dragon Ball Super, but they didn't take it to its full potential. In the first Battle of Gods arc, they kind of perceived him to be that kind of figure. But they didn't push it anymore. They didn't push it, and sooner or later, he just became the similar Beerus we always knew him to be. And I want to change that. I want to add more development towards his character. This version of Beerus is going to be more of a destructive force. He will live up to the name God of Destruction. I can guarantee it. In fact, the first couple of minutes of dialogue in the first episode of Dragon Ball Super New Age will help illustrate how destructive and how dark this character really is. Another thing I wanted to point out is how I'm going to be focusing more time towards the Z fighters and not so much Goku and Vegeta. I feel like another flaw with the series is that Goku and Vegeta mainly get most of the focus while the Z fighters are left out of the picture. I want to change that. I want to focus more on them, and this also includes Goten and Trunks, which I feel like were really, really dumbed down in the series, and I want to bring them back. I'm going to give them their own story arcs, and I'm going to develop them separately as their characters, and it's going to be great, trust me. Another thing I mentioned in the last video is that a backstory. I'm going to be adding backstories to a majority of characters that I feel like should deserve a backstory. Jiren, Caulifla, and Kale, for example, are characters that I want to have a backstory towards. I know that Jiren does have a backstory from the series, but I just felt like it wasn't enough to fully sell me on the character because it's just simple and there's nothing complex about it, nothing about him striving to being strong just because of one destructive force. I feel like you can do more towards this plot, and that's just my personal opinion. I've actually finished the Kale and Caulifla backstory already, and I've showcased it to a lot of people, but I just need to make dialogue for it. It won't be showcased for a long time, but just be patient, and one day it will come out, because this series will take a while to develop. And lastly, every arc links together in this series. The ending of every arc will hint towards what's going to be happening in the next arc. I feel like one of the biggest problems about Dragon Ball Super is that every arc felt disconnected. It didn't feel like it was one whole story, but it felt like one story and then going to the next story. It felt like somewhat of a part series. Like, the first arc of Dragon Ball Super felt like its own contained thing, and it felt like it was going to be a continuous story. But then the next arc treated it as if it never really happened, and it feels like more of a spin-off series. You get what I mean? A lot of these stories in Dragon Ball Super don't really connect and flow well into a nice story. What I wanted to do in my version is that I wanted to give these arcs proper endings, that way they link towards each other, so it feels like it's one whole series instead of it being, well, apart. And also power scaling. Power scaling is going to be better in this and not so much out of proportion, I want to say. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say on the whole. How is this series going to be different? I know this isn't much information, but I wanted to discuss it with you all anyway. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will do more videos on Dragon Ball Super New Age. Leave in the comments below what you would like to see me go over in the next video. I will not put in any spoilers, of course, because I don't want anything to be, you know, I want everything to be a surprise for you all, basically. And I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. Have a lovely night, and take care.